guys, BBI here. I want to stop and say thanks for tuning in and checking out whatever the video is about that's about ready to come up next. If you could take a minute and hit subscribe, I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you enjoy what you've seen here, make sure to hit the like button. We'd greatly appreciate your support. Anyhow, guys, all that aside, let's get on with the show. Well, let's see here. This little guy was sent in here because it's sticking. But the very first thing I noticed was this. The eyelets here are, I found little strands of solder, and I can see kind of little tiny burbs of solder coming out of the eyelets, but it's not really up to my snuff. So before we go any further, we're going to solder these on, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to try and run it. I think my little buddy Scorpion's been in here with the RG400 in here and the power wires. So let me get this snipped back and soldered in, and then we're going to go from there. Okay, so our pass-through tune is hello, good. Okay. We're starting out on low volts. And what we're waiting to see is if this thing sticks. Well, that ain't right. Hello, audio. Down at 11 volts, by the way. Barely tickling this with power. It's sticking in sideband mode. Let's get it hot or warm. Hello, audio, 1 2 1 2 1 2. All right, let's turn the volts up. Hello, audio. Let's make it 500 watts pretty easy. Hello, audio. Hello, audio. Hello, audio. Turn our dead key down to less than a half a watt. It's still latching up. Hello, audio, all swing. Hello, audio. Hello, audio. Hello, audio. Okay, well, shit. Let's try it with the striker. It's my boys at the break. I'll be back. That's good news. Them guys get good weather over there. That was Tiny at Tiny CB Shop. He's just calling to check in and tell us, tell all of you guys, thanks. And what he means by that is, believe it or not, a large portion of the revenue that comes in this place, I just give it away. I put on that big break over there with Baker Man every year, and now the Northwest Corner Mud Ducks, they're putting on a little break over there, and it's Idaho, Oregon, and Washington, primarily Oregon and Washington, because I mean, there's only pretty much one or two of us over here in Idaho. So I got word that this thing was going down, and I said, well, let me help give a little bit of money to this so that, you know, make it a little bit better, because I want everybody to have a good time. See, that's my thing. I don't get into the politics at all. You'll never get me to say anything negative about anybody, ever. And I will try to always help out their fellow CBer. I gave a ton of money one year to a break in Texas. It did not turn out too well, as in, like, they couldn't even say thank you. And so that break's now cut completely off. But I try to help out everybody. You come to me, I will try to help you with whatever I've got at my disposal to help. Either raffles for the break, you know, like amps or parts or whatever, and always try to help a little bit. So Tiny and them guys, Tiny and Buzzard and Corn Dog and the rest of them guys over there, they all rallied around the phone. They just did a little video chat with me to tell us thanks. And what I mean by us is all of you guys. So let's get back after it. We're gonna hit it with the striker now. Hello. Hello. Oh yeah, it's making good power, 700 watts. Hello. 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 Input tune looks beautiful. Hello, audio, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Even looks good on the spectrum analyzer. Hello, audio, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Hello, audio. Aha. Oh. Hello, audio. Hello, audio. I mean, the input tune on this thing is just cherry. If there was such a thing as cherry, check this out. Hello, audio, audio, audio. That's way, way better than what we normally see out of Texas Star. So somebody's been in there and played with that. That's good. All right, so we're going to drive it harder than it ever should have been driven. 1,000 watt slugging peak, 1,000 average, 5 watt slugging reverse. Hello, audio. Hello, audio. Hello, audio. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, audio. Hello, audio. Hello, audio. 1 1 1 1 1 1 2 2 2 2. Oh. Let's engage the preamp. Let's get all the switches in. Hello, audio. Hello, audio. Hello, audio. Hello, audio. Man, I don't know. Well, let's slip the plastic cover off and clean the contacts, because I can't think of any other way to test this. He says he's losing receive. And then he's got to bang the receive 2 or 3 times to get the receive to come back. Which normally what causes that is this cap breaks down here. This cap breaks down right here. And it'll cause this to lag. Either that or he's got a coaxial issue that he's feeding this with. Like he doesn't have the right length of coax between his radio and his amp. Somehow it's causing this to oscillate, but I doubt it. I really doubt it. All right. Let's slip the lid off and clean this thing real quick. Now I can say this, somebody doesn't have too good of skills with a soldering iron in their spatial awareness. I mean, it's got some little rubbies going on there, but yeah, somebody sprayed some cleaner on this at some point or another because it's a little smoked out. Well, here, we'll do it right. A little smoked out. Just like that first time at Bandcamp. Oh, okay. So we're going to spit on it like it's a Tijuana hooker. Now, this is a little tiny. I don't know if you guys ever seen me use these before. I use them all the time. This is a little tiny file. And it's not like your mom's finger emery board or anything. This thing is specifically designed for doing relay contacts. And I'm here to tell you, I don't like to do it. But if you rub your hand across this, come on, camera. If you run your hand across this, it feels slick. It's like it's smooth, but it's not. There's little tiny diamonds that are in here, like little tiny pieces of jade diamond. So now I got to very carefully. First, you got to find yeah, we should probably unplug this. First, you got to find the clitoris, and then you got to pretend like you are the world's greatest detective. Get in here and you're gonna really lightly close the armature, and then we're really carefully we're gonna pretend like we're sawing logs. Just like that first time Jesus came back, we're gonna play with our dingus. Okay, here we go. Okay. So now very carefully, I'm doing this all at the wrong angle where you guys can't see it. Very carefully push the armature forward, because when the armature is relaxed, it's closing and making contact for the receive to go through. So all we did now, by moving the armature forward and cleaning the front side of the contacts, click, as we're working on the transmit side. Well, now we want to work on the receive side. So push the armature forward, and then we spread the points, and then we insert the file through the points, and then we release the armature, which closes back down, and then we clean it. I guess it should be more like that, cleans the points. So they say. And hopefully this fixes our problem. Okay. Because trying to change this relay out is a mother hump. And I mean a dingus schmack in the eyeball hump. Very carefully line up our points again. Okay, let's verify that everything still works the way it's designed to and advertised in the paperwork from back in the 70s. Hello, audio, 1 2 1 2 1 2. That looks good. Hello, audio. Hello, how'd it go? Hello, how'd it go? Hello, how'd it go? This meter is frozen in time. To call him and see if he wants to fix that or not. Hello, how'd it go? Hello, how'd it go? 1 2 1 2 1 2. Hasn't hung up once. I mean, it's good and properly hot. It's probably got to be about 100 degrees now. I'm giving her the best I can. All right, let me call this gentleman. This is kind of depressing. This thing has sat here for like 9 months for me to look at it, and there's nothing wrong with it. Well, I just called him. I got voicemail, so we'll see if he calls me back. The only thing I got really curiosity about is this meter, why it's not working, but there's nothing wrong with this amp that I can figure out here. So there's something in the environment that this amplifier's in that is the variable. Because here in the test bench scenario, we're working good. I am going to go and play with this on the air, maybe. Not saying that I am or going to or will, because that would be illegal. We're going to maybe, theoretically, possibly, most likely not going to, ever, never would I ever run this on the air and see what happens into a real antenna. Because a dummy load, you know, is a dummy load, is a dummy load. So, yeah, this is where I sit till I hear back from my customer, I guess. Well, this is interesting. I'm here to tell you. So I talked with my guy last night on this box, and he is telling me that he's running this at his house, but he's only got like a 6-foot jumper between his stuff and the amp. And I said, well, let's try and go to like a 12-foot jumper. And I just got done running this for a little bit, and we're not having a failure issue of any kind. So I'm kind of struggling. I don't understand what might be happening now. The variation can be small. I hope you guys understand that just because it's not presenting itself here on the workbench doesn't necessarily mean it's not happening, because I'm sure it's happening. I once built an amp for a guy. I think it was a little 6-pill bass unit. And he had his radio and his old amplifier. And he made it really clear to me that this amplifier he had had for 14 years. And it's never failed him once. I said, okay. So I built him his new little 6-pill. And so he goes and he puts it on this side of the radio. Remember this is going to come in handy in the story. So he goes and he disconnects his coax from the amp. And he slides one over for the antenna. Takes the other one and turns it over and plugs it into the amplifier. Here comes a phone call. God damn it! This son of a bitch thing don't friggin' work. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, calm down. Everybody paddle the boat. Let's chill out. So here comes back the 6-pill. He takes his coaxes and he hooks them back up to his amp that's been in place for 14 years and has never given him a lick of worry. So amplifier comes back up here, and I'm assuming there's something wrong with it, right? You know, you hear that story and you think there's something wrong with it. Well, I get it up here and I plug it into this environment, and it doesn't show me any problems. Like, I'm literally videoing the thing as I take it out of the box that he put it in, put it on a workbench, plug it in, turn on, and it takes right off. I'm like, I don't know. So we go inside, we look around, everything is where it should be. It looks just like when I left here. So I put it all back together, put new warranty stickers on it, and we send it back. Once again, take our coaxes off, hook them back up over to this other amplifier. Nothing else in the environment's changed. Shit's not working. Phone call number 2 comes, and this guy is hot under the collar. Now, if anything has taught me how to be calm underneath most circumstances and situations, it's been doing and dealing with this. Learning how to deal with the people in this environment. People will call you and they create reasons to get mad. I got a situation that I got to address in the next video where the guy is just freaking livid and I have no idea why. But it's degenerated to the point where I refuse to work on his equipment anymore. It's sad, but it happens. So back to this story. Constantly got to be calm. You can never let yourself get mad. So this time around, amp comes out and he's pissed. He sends it back here. Once again, nothing, so it comes back again. And the entire time, every single time, I'm very calmly asking the guy, bud, have we checked our coaxes? Have we checked our jumpers? I don't need to check shit. Shit's been this way for 14 years. When I went back this last time, I asked him, how long is the jumper that goes from your radio to your old amp? And he told me, so I built him a new coax jumper. And I said, how long is the jumper from your old amp to your watt meter? And he told me, so I built him a new one. He gets radio back, or gets amplifier back, moves his coaxes over, and I'm on the phone with him this time, and he is hot. Shit's still not working, da 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 da, 4-letter word. And you can understand a man's frustration. But you also got to look at it from my side of the street as well. Here I've been paying for the shipping back and forth. The only time I charged him from shipping was originally from here to him. So the back and forth thing, that's been on me. If there was any profit to be made in that amplifier, it was long out the window. We're talking a 6-pill bass, we're talking $100 back and forth. So it's $100 down there for him to try it. $100 back, that's $200. So $200 out here, so $300 by just round one. Another $100 is $400. Another $100, you get it back down there for the last go around. It's about $500 in shipping later, and the time and energy and effort to make the coax jumpers. I said, bud, do me a favor. I want you to disconnect your old coax jumpers and hook up the new ones I sent you. And what? I'm on the phone with him, he keys in and I goes, damn. And there was this instant change of attitude that come from him. He's like, oh man. And I said, yeah, I already know. It's okay. The jumpers that he'd had in place for 14 years, when he went and twisted them over to this amplifier, were shorting out. Had nothing to do with my box. And he goes, well, what are we going to do? And I said, I'm not going to worry anything about it. I'm going to mosey on and keep going on with my day. I said, yeah, let me know if there's anything more I can do to help you in the future. And that was the end of it. I let it just sit right there because it was a learning experience. That story's worth $1 million to me. I don't think that's the situation that's taking place here, but I have a feeling that it's something in the environment that's causing this relay to hang up. Now, all that being said, I did clean this thing. Okay. The eyelets that I soldered aren't going to make it do hardly any more watts, and it's not the reason that the relay is hanging up. I have a feeling that this relay was dirty. Now, come to find out, my student, Scorpion, who's now out of the game, was the one that did the power wire mods on this thing, did all the tuning on it, and it's all perfectly perfect. I mean, the input tune's beautiful. Box producing 700 watts and 90 watts of drive. It's working. The only thing that's got me concerned, and I forgot to ask him about yesterday, was the meter, which I'll get with him on the phone when we go to conclude this. But at the end of the day, it's more important to me that everybody's having a good time and stuff gets done right and only things get charged out that need to be charged out. I didn't do anything here. So, being that this thing is small enough to fit in a flat rate box, I'm going to literally send this back to him. To say, here you go. You don't owe me anything. Here's the video of it working. And I want him to double take it. Like, literally, I want him to hook it up and run it. And if he has any kind of problems with it, we're out 17 whole doll hairs. He's going to send it back to me and I'll figure it out. Which might be just me replacing this relay. It might be that simple. It could have been that the little fingers on the inside of the relay stock that move back and forth on the armature were just out of alignment. Well, we cleaned all of those and we moved all of them. That might fix the problem. We don't know. But as far as my test environment here goes, my workbench environment here, this thing is good. I didn't do anything, we're not charging nothing, and this thing's gonna go home to the customer and let him try it on his station. Where we go from there, we don't know. This might be back here. This just might be chapter 1 in this little saga. Hopefully it's not. Guys, I gotta go. I've got a ton of things I need to go take care of today. Literally a ton. And then I gotta go digging. I gotta go find me a piece of equipment that's been here for like 6.5 months, and the guy is literally losing his mind like he's something special or different. So make sure to tune into the next video. I think you guys are gonna enjoy this story. Gentlemen, I gotta get. I appreciate you all tuning in to view this, check this out, and watch me click the microphone a bunch. At the end of the day, gentlemen, we're all in this hobby together. The fellow ant builders that are out there that are more interested in getting the almighty dollar versus doing the right thing for the customer, there's a reason that they're out of business and people like me are being incredibly successful, because we just keep persevering for the right motivated reasons, just to keep the hobby alive and keep people's equipment running. Honest to God. For the love of honest to God, let's treat each other with respect and dignity. And when we do talk to each other on the phone, we act like adults. Gentlemen, I gotta get. I'll see ya. Bye. This is interesting. So on a side note, that last amp needed a couple light bulbs in it, and I normally just throw them in. I don't even say anything about it because they're usually like $2, right? Well, 99%, no, about 90% of Texas Stars are built with this light. This is RF parts page, okay? It's an 18-volt bulb, and what makes it unique is the fact that it's in this little plastic insert sleeve, so you can change them out, right? Out of stock. Of course, red LEDs and all the other LEDs that go along with this, $2 a singular unit. Oh, 10-strand replacement LEDs, okay, that's better. $2 a piece, what? So, this is way up. These used to be like $1, okay? Now when I called Galaxy here about a month or two ago, because I was gonna build myself a pinball wizard, which I'd love to do, but I haven't had any time to get around to doing. They were completely sold out on lights too. So then I come over here to, where are we at? This is Parquet? Where am I here? I've just been running through the Texas Star parts list here. Come on. Come on. These guys are cool. Let's see here. Yeah, Barquette. These guys are cool. They're honest, good people. I like ordering from them. So I came over here, and the very first thing is Texas Star button lamps, 18 volts. So I want like 50 of them because this is what I do, right? You got to keep a never-ending running inventory of this shit around all the time. They don't have 50 in stock. It spit back and says we don't have enough on hand to fill your order. So let's see, did it keep my cart? It did. So I ordered, the most I can order from them is 20 volts, or 20 of them. I ordered 10 of the newer models with the legs on them. Now I do have a couple that are here that have got LED kits in them, and I've seen those. So I'm on the hunt today. That's gonna be one of my missions, is to find out where those little LED, they're inserts. They're little little tiny grain of wheat light LEDs. So we're gonna find out where those are at. But this is becoming a relic of the past, I have a feeling. So now I want you to also see something, the little push button faceplates, the powers and preamp and all that other stuff. Button covers and lenses. Look at this. Lens cover, period. Just the red one is $3.50 now. The green one, $3.50. I've got to order a couple of the preamps at they're $3.50. Just the little plastic housing. I can remember these were like 50 cents a piece. This is getting interesting. So let's go over here. Now, Barquette, if you call Texas Star themselves, they're going to tell you to call these guys. They don't do direct to sales public for anything, not parts or anything, unless they like you, I guess, or you got an account with them for other reasons, because you know that's Galaxy Radio too. The faceplates haven't gotten that much more expensive, but they've only got the plain Jane. They got the dx500. The 16, the 12, the dx250, and on down. They've even still got skeleton faceplates, believe it or not. The skeleton 220, just got 2 transistors in it, but it's like the size of a modulator. Kind of cool. They don't have any of the Viking faceplates or anything. Fan kits are almost out of those too. Look at this. We'll go over here and we're going to go fan kits. Now those, the full up fan kits, we can still get those, and we get those from a place over in Oregon. And I have not looked on comparative prices for the dx500, the dx100, and the 667. This is a lid with a hole in it for a fan. It's a low profile fan. I think I have covered this a couple times. Yeah. Yeah. Well, shoot. I guess I need to check out. I'm just letting you know that the lamps are getting really hard to find, but it's okay. There's always a workaround. Have faith. All right, guys, I got a jet.